on the live stream in real time, you guys, or maybe catching it on the back end. I really appreciate you nonetheless. Thank you for clicking like on the video. Thank you for ensuring you are actually still subscribed or will subscribe today. All right, especially you guys, if you enjoy the vibe, if you know that you've enjoyed the free tarot messages on a personal note as well. When you do come on the live streams, those that know and those that maybe weren't aware, join us, okay? I invite you, as well as I invite you to join in on the live stream rules, okay, which can be found below this video and any video you may find on the channel. All right, you gotta scroll a little bit and look for the title live stream rules. All right, but they're not really hard to follow, but they are a requirement in order to get that free tarot message. Okay, so for anyone that you know, we get new people all the time, and so I don't mind repeating that. For anyone wondering why I have to do that, okay, it's for all of us here. I've got to address. Okay, so welcome in, you guys. I hope that you have had a pretty decent enough day, and I hope that you are finding yourselves, overall pleased with, maybe what all experiences you had today. And maybe that's not the case, you guys. I get it too. We all have those days. Either way, I hope that you enjoy yourselves, however short or however long that you can and or will spend with us in the channel. All right, and in the chat box. Many times, you guys, you're able to make friends in the chat box, and I love that about you guys. I love my collective. I'll say it again. I have the best collective, hands down. Ain't no way nobody's telling me any differently, you guys. All right, so I just want to say that since our last live stream, I have noticed some positive feedback in the sense of participation, as your girl had asked. So I just want to say thank you and a big shout out to those that actually are helping your girl out, helping the channel. And you know what? It's not even just about me, you guys, because it doesn't stop there. Of course, ultimately helping the collective. Makes sense? So I appreciate you guys for that. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Um, I feel like there was. I feel like there was something else. Ooh, what is that? Wait, hold on a second. What? That's odd. What's going on? I wonder if YouTube's glitching out. Okay, no, we're good. But actually, YouTube is glitching out for me, so that's interesting. I'm my end, you guys. Can anyone let me know if you guys can hear me clearly? Because I don't wanna continue on, and it's just like me like in some form of mime version of myself. Um, like, can anyone? Okay. Thank you, Silent Motivation Africa. You're amazing for that, because I was like, because quite unfortunately, for those that don't know, the creators cannot just like plug into the chat if you're on like a cell phone, anyways, right? So there's that. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I hope that you had a decent day, okay? And that you're ready for some fun, maybe some laughs. Um, we do have a pick a pile message, and we are talking good things. Now, I say good things for a couple reasons, you guys, because what I can see in the cards, and I pulled them all just to like streamline it so I can get to the freebie tarot, right? And I found the bell, you guys. My goodness, that buzzer was a little much, if I do say so myself, because really that's only used for whenever we're like retraining our brain, not whenever it's like free tarot time. So thank you for bearing with your girl, those that know. No, definitely not wearing contacts, babe. I got that all my life. You're wearing contacts. Why lie about it, right? But anyways, so we do have three piles, and what I can give you this time for the markers or the indicators, right, are the tarot decks used for each individual pile. Before I do, I mean, friendly reminder, you guys, you could resonate with more than one pile, all piles, no piles, right? Still general collective message, and I try to cast a wide net and get everybody included, so I do have a message aside from the free piles for us tonight, regardless of whether or not you resonate with any of the other stacks, okay? So we are, instead of doing the initials, because I don't know, I'm just growing bored of that. I think maybe it's the deck. I know what I want as far as an initials deck, and I have yet to create it. It's one of those things, right? It's just me, it's not you. Okay. And so I did hit the archetypes deck as far as aesthetics, right? The looks of who all I may be addressing tonight from one pile to the next. But we're also going to hit up the states for those that live in the US, because I think it's a little bit fun. And guess what? It helps me know where the heck you are watching from, because every freaking time I ask, right, it's crickets. One person was kind enough to let me know it was London. It was like a freaking miracle. Like, it was amazing. Like, my head was all like, wow. Like, somebody answered the question. So, you guys, I don't bite, right? Unless it is something necessary. So, there's that, right? And you guys, my A1 day ones, y'all better know, right? If you don't know, now you're going to know. I love you. I love and like each and every one of my collective members. All right, whether we just met, okay, whether you're an A1 day one, or whether we meet 5 years from now. All right, that's as simple as I can put it. So if and when I ask a question, it's not to trigger you into non-response. All right, it's to engage because I love you. And we can't say that about everybody that we're forced, possibly, to engage with. So when it's good engagement, it should be easy, free flowing. Just, I mean, that's just my opinion and the way I know things. Just saying. All right, you guys. Love and light, Laura. So we're going to get into the piles. I do want to make mention that some of the piles are a little bit in a more quirky pose. Not some of the piles, some of the cards. So for instance, the extremely 90s affirmations deck I was guided to. So maybe somebody was born in the 90s. Somebody clearly was born in the 90s, because my nose is doing that thing where I just want to like set it off my face because it is so tickly. But before I get into the piles, you guys, and before I get into the free tarot, I just want to give you the overall sentiment that Spirit has for you tonight, your spiritual guidance team, whether you want to say that's God, Goddess, the universe, etc., etc. All right. You are expected to know. If you don't know, ooh, grab on tight. Here we go. Okay. You can change your life by changing your thoughts. All right. Now we are talking about change. Why? Because change is upon us. But here's the thing about change. You have your effort. All right. You're going to have expectations. You gotta be ready for the effort. Sometimes the effort is sacrifice. Sometimes the effort is hard work. Sometimes the effort is do nothing. Stand down. Right? So the card says, by choosing a thought collective, that feels slightly better than the thoughts you had been thinking. You can gradually change the direction of your thoughts. And that's why, you know, speaking of, I just made mention of this moments ago, this buzzer, we often use to help us retrain our brains. Like, no, that would not be the vibe. No, that would not be the goal. No, that would not be the agenda, right? Or no, that, you know, just to create, to recognize thought patternings and the toxicity perhaps within, and to decide from there, am I making change? Usually it's a no-brainer, right? Because that would be like the epitome of asking yourself, do I want the good things in life? I'm like, well, duh. Like, you came here to get just that. So then, of course, you got to make change. All right, that's for someone. Okay. By focusing upon a better feeling thought, the law of attraction will respond to that thought, and therefore the balance of your thoughts will now improve. When you balance your thoughts, you balance your life. It's connected. This life is far more spiritual than you may realize. Okay. I mean, if you want to, if you even want to cut it down, it's so spiritual that spiritual people don't realize all aspects of what that means. And I'm not saying I know everything either. Okay, I'm just saying, like, literally, legitimately, that's the case. Okay, so this is big stuff. And when you cut it down, okay, you're connected to it. Therefore, you're of it. And so you are big stuff. Gone are the days that, speaking of thought patterning, collective, that you are expected to, should I say allowed to, right? Free will, okay? Free will. I want to say, I almost want to say, like, through the channeling, you are no longer allowed to operate paradigm. Okay, you've already shifted, babe. All right, I know you've been through a lot in order to get to this point, and I know still so much more to come, still so many more milestones, still you want and you need. I get it. All right, but the fact is, you are co-creating this experience we call life. It's not just happening to you, and it's not even just happening for you, it's happening because of you. Does that make sense? Because here's the sitch, you're either having life happen because of you, because you're either doing something that you should be doing, or you're not doing something that you should be doing. And the choice is yours, free will, right? But then don't bitch about the experience you have when you know that when you check in, oh, I wasn't doing my part. Oh, I was avoiding that. Oh, I just, I pulled the covers over repeatedly. I said I'll do it tomorrow. I said I'll pray later. I said I'll meditate some other week. Right? That's the old type of paradigm. That's the old earth. That's the stank, nasty teddy bear that you always see in those Jesus memes that he's, trying to explain to the child of God, as it were. Please let it go. Right? This is also, I'm not sure why all the Bible references, but this is also giving the instance of Lot. Well, you have free will. You should not look back. Should not look back. That's where we're at right now. You should not look back. Not in the sense of bitterness, resentment, anger, hatred. Not even in the sense of avoidance, but in the sense of empowerment, knowing you have done the work and that you are focusing forward unapologetically. Because again, you have done the work. Why should you apologize? Oh, because the haters in the back can't be where you're at energetically. They're not able to be on your fucking frequency, let alone timeline. Yeah, but, well, hold on, though. Hold on. Because wasn't that you several moon cycles ago, years ago, decades ago, telling them step by step what you were learning, how you connected the dots to basically get out of this thing called Matrix, right? Giving cheat codes, free game over and over, praying for them, encouraging. Yeah, wasn't that you? So you know what? Again, the word is unapologetically moving forward. It is not a selfish act. It is a selfish act to dim your light. And now we know better because we're in this new earth energy, consciousness. It's not about hopping rocks or hopping planets. All right, but this is big stuff. Why? Because you were already connected to it. You're just now coming into the full throttle of awareness, wherein your meat suit, your vessel, your body, right, really is enmeshed with your higher version, okay, of your higher minded self, your higher self. And so, you know what? Guess what? I'm not going to lie to you. It can be a little disjointed at times, or jarring, or, might trigger feelings of you wanting to fear, because shit's getting easier. And when you're in alignment, it just lines up. People serve you. You didn't ask them to serve you. You didn't expect them to serve you, and with such passion and, maybe even so many apologies, right? Unnecessary apologies even. That's alignment, baby. Keep going. And I'm really excited to report tonight that from one pal to the next, you guys have been doing a lot of work. And so ain't no way you're not getting your just rewards. And we're going to talk about what some of those things look like, okay? And you guys, going to the Extremely 90s deck, right? The overall collective card for you is, if you were on Judge Judy, you'd be found guilty of being fabulous. Yes, I concur, right? I definitely share in that sentiment. Again, I have the best collective hands down, all right? And I'll leave you lastly with this quote, and then we'll get into the free tarot. Remember that great expectations create great capabilities. If you limit your goals to what you know you can achieve, You are setting the bar way too low. All right. And that is Ray Dalio, a quote by Mr. Dalio there. Okay. So beautiful sentiment, beautiful message for a beautiful collective. I don't mind. All right. So hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'm going to go ahead and ring the bell we have. All right. Love and light, you guys. Let me see who's in here. Okay. Let's see. Gosh. Okay. Let me see. Love and light, Robert. Love and light, Teresa Horton. Love and light, Nahadas. Love and light, Susan. Love and light, Joanne Gray. Oh, thank you for, oh, Sydney, Australia. You know what? Your energy may be not, I think, did that card come out? I think that card came out for one of the piles, so you might want to stick around, Dave. I think it might have been pile 2. um, Love and light, the one. Love and light, Spoonie. Love and light, Eyes of Cree Lucia. Okay, let me see here, Susan. All right. Okay. Okay, let's see here. You're like up in your head about this. Spirit saying balance, though. So that means with that level of passion, I'm not sure it's so easy to detach for you currently. And again, I tell you, I mean, with the Ten of Pentacles and the Star, it's a thing. You know, maybe sometimes when we hyper focus on, you know, it's like, and I'm not picking on you or anyone on this channel ever, okay, to be clear. I can't say that for people in the chat box, but you know, sometimes if you get to a point, it's like, oh, the tarot message or the tarot reader, or, you know, I got this awareness, this download from God that like me and this person are going to be a thing. Sometimes we can actually hyper focus ourselves into a path, okay, in between point A and then ultimately point B, in between that, to learn how not to hyper focus because you're putting people on pedestals, in the sense of not necessarily intentionally, but in the sense of energetically. And we do have to watch the energy as well as our words and thoughts that we are emitting into the universe. Okay. And so, you know, I did see I'm not sure if it was the 9 or the 10 of Swords card come out initially whenever I was shuffling the deck. And that's like, you know, sleepless nights energy, a lot of mental swords energy, a lot of, I don't know. Well, if this, then that. And if not this, then, you know, and it's giving not a restful, peaceful type of energy when you're thinking about this guy. Right. And so maybe there is some underlying fears, like what if this guy actually like is on the up and up? Or sometimes with the energy that we're emitting, we can cause a bit of a stir up in between you know, ourselves and the other person. Not intentionally, right? But if you're expecting somebody to be an asshole long enough, eventually they will be. Right? It's not always unexpected. It's not always an unexpected occurrence for someone to be a jerk. But sometimes we can unintentionally co-create an experience whereby we are less than satisfied. And then you know, some people even take it up a notch and they go, aha, I told you so, I knew it. It's almost like that's what they wanted the whole time, just to have a crappy experience with another asshole. You know, so you guys be mindful of the root cause, the root emotion, the root thought patterning. And this goes far beyond lovers connections, right? This goes far beyond tarot. This is like how you should be living your life, checking in, analyzing, self-analyzing, because you understanding you and analyzing you first is going to be the most healthiest connection that you will have with you. All right, especially far and above over the version of you that goes, let me ask others to analyze me. Let me ask others to help me understand about myself. Makes sense? And that's not just about you, Susan. That's just, you know, we can all talk about it and learn what we're talking about. All right. But that is the answer that I have for you, babe. Love and light. All right. Oh, wow. He's alive, Spoonie. Love and Light Shirazi 98. Welcome. Washington, D.C. My gosh, that's such a busy city. You're very welcome, Susan. Um, I would love to visit DC again though. It's a pretty it's fun to for me on a personal it's fun to like go in and do like some of the touristy things, not gonna lie, and then like get out. Cause even, you know, like New York City, it's a lot. Like those big cities, I wonder how I would even do well in like Paris with the catacombs and all of that energy. But I would love to go to Paris, of course, you know. I definitely would FAFO on that one if somebody offered to take me, but I wonder how sensitive I would be. I know places like I recall Mississippi was another state that was like, and I literally was just at the time with a youth group driving through the state because we were driving at the time from Pennsylvania to Texas, and because there was a tournament down there of sorts. And the second you like the second I entered the state and you see the sign, it was like this whoosh, came over, and I was like, "Oh, this is heavy," and like this seems almost scary. But I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything, I just felt it, right? So I do have to watch with things like that. But that's so cool. Thank you for letting me know, you guys, where you're watching from. Okay. All right, so let's get into the piles, you guys. It is 2150, right? If I skipped over you, it definitely was intentional, and I promise I'm going to again ring the bell so you will have a chance to get your question read. All right, bear with, because I don't think I even have any mods on here at the moment. So we're just all doing the best we can. How about that? Oh, my hat doesn't want to stay on, you guys. I think I've at this point dropped enough pounds that my head shape is different. That's what's going on. So don't don't mind me fidgeting. Apparently, I didn't know I was going to be fidgeting until I had to. You're from Alabama? That's awesome, Teresa. Love and light. Okay, so you guys, the pick a pile, right? So pile number one, what tarot is this? Oh man, hold on, I don't even see the box. I like shredded everything and put it away. What tarot is this? Oh, the Rainbow Tarot. Okay. So, I was like, holy crap. First of all, in my defense, I'm not even used to looking at the backs of the tarot decks, but here we go. So this is the Rainbow Tarot. And I asked Spirit to allow me to have a card out of the deck that would also correlate or coincide with the actual message for you tonight. And so we're going to take a look at what that card is just to see if maybe it is drawing your attention. Okay, and so that is the Page of Swords. And what I got from this intuitively was that in your current energies, you are, actively researching. Okay, and this could be some form of online research. All right, but we'll get more into that. And pile number two is from the Broke Bitch Tarot. And the card that you have, you're not ready. The Emperor. Okay. So we'll get into that later. And pile number three is the Wild Unknown Pocket Tarot deck, right? And the Chariot. So something is incoming. Okay. All right, so that's what we have for pile number one. Okay, let's get into it. For pile number one, I could be speaking to somebody who is connected to aspects of being tribal, looking tribal, having tribal decor, all right, studying tribalism, tribalisms, I don't know if that's, okay. Could have a sharp face, mixed colored eyes, all right. Somebody here could be pregnant, have a mole, exaggerated features, all right. Maybe they wear like a lot of dark makeup like you see on your girl tonight. I felt like going dark, you guys, don't mind me. Somebody here could have an average build, all right. And your first card that we have is within 60 days it can be mine, all right. So we're talking what change is coming, what changes you're looking forward to, but we're also really simultaneously, go figure, talking about what change you are co-creating, doing your part to receive and to experience, okay? Now, this is not a doom and gloom message, you guys, in the sense that, oh, you've got to earn all your blessings, right? Because that's thankfully not the case. But we signed up to learn and grow our souls. Okay, and so you got to do your part. And that means different things for different people and at different times. Okay, this card says, as you give thought to your future that may be 10 years or 60 days away, you begin pre-paving. And then as you move into these pre-paved moments, and as that future becomes your present, you fine tune it by saying, this is what I now want. And all of those pre-paved thoughts will fit together to bring you precisely the experience that you now want to live. And what I got from that intuitively is really the sentiment of somebody, maybe you're of a certain age and you're like, you know what, I've been this type of career, what feels like all my life. It's time for a change. I'm no longer wanting what is in my now. And so little by little, baby steps. Okay, it's like, well, how much would I need to get this type of schooling so that I could then be this in career, right? And how could I find grants and things like that in order to cut down that cost? And what would I look like when attending said school, or when in said career change? Okay, all of these things. The next thing you know, you start preparing. Then maybe you're dressing a little bit differently. Maybe because of the career change, you need certain instrumentation or equipment, etc. Certifications also come to mind. Okay, and so again, the general sentiment is also coming through as far as remain positive. Love and light, Fiona. Thank you so much for coming on. Woof. Thank you. All right. So within 60 days, it can be mine, is really talking about, how, I don't know if you guys have ever discussed this with another person or not, but you can have two different viewpoints and understand at the same time that they are both valid. They are both maybe truth filled. Okay. They're just different. And so sometimes that might make it sound like one person saying yes and the other person saying no, or one person saying I agree and the other person saying I disagree, but it may not be the case. It may just be there is a differentiation there between the viewpoints. And it's important for those that really get triggered by instances like this to know that communication about different viewpoints should never reduce down into a situation where you feel like you're having a conversation that goes, I love you, I hate you, from the same individual, right? When someone challenges you in a loving manner, in a caring connection, I'm not talking about narcissists threatening you, blackmailing you, and all of that, this, that, and the third, okay? Not somebody violent, not somebody petty, not somebody emotionally immature. But when somebody challenges you, like, let's say that is you wanting a career change, right? You wouldn't want some bum around going, man, you can't do it. Fuck that. You might as well not. Okay, and those be the ones that was living off you, feeding off you. Like, okay, so I can't do that, but you just straight and steady, huh? Living off my tip, right? Gone are the days that we even allow access to those mofos like that, correct? Because we're in this new earth and we escaped the old, basically, I'd like to say. And good on you, okay? Because as you should. It's giving, you made it, all right? But pound number one, your future here, right? It was quoted as both 60 days as well as 10 years, and they're both true. There's some power in understanding that, okay? Because when we're talking about divine timing, maybe you come on here and you're like, I always get told by multiple readers, I always get told by love that this person's coming back, and that there is a test and a lesson in that. And a lesson until you actually comply, all right, with it, really unbunching your boxers or your panties or what you got going on there. And if you got nothing, God help you. No, let me stop. But unbunch it, okay? Because there is something more for you beyond just the connection that you're being promised. That makes why wouldn't you want the more? That's like being served like a big fat piece of cake, but ain't no icing because you said no, you just don't, you just didn't have time for it, right? Sometimes icing's the best part. Not just the cake. Cake is cool, but and and y'all don't want to FAFO to get to the but the might actually connect to that connection and make it the best fucking piece of cake you ever had. Make sense? So stop teaching yourselves just because you're still climbing out of aspects of that old thought patterning to settle. All right? You work so hard, you don't need to settle now. It's not on the menu. Okay? So the choice is yours. Be positive. Okay? Change your story. How? By changing your point of attraction. Exactly. There are many roads that can lead you to the same destination, final outcome. So don't be so hard on yourselves because you found out that the path you was trying to do wasn't the path that maybe you were allowed to even be on. Maybe your guides were protecting you from that rocky ass path that ain't no way you was gonna survive. Whole time you're telling like, damn, I fucked up, I'm a failure. Huh? You're protected. You're divinity. You're protected by divinity. All right? So that's the truth that you would hold on to. That would be the focal point that you would hold on to. Why? Because it's going to get you to a point of advancement much, much, much easier. Haven't you worked hard enough at, like, I don't know, existence, let alone work, let alone relationships, right? Don't make it any harder, you guys, okay? The only reason it may seem like some past negative thinking is having an impact on your life now is because you have been continuing the negative train of thoughts or beliefs through all of those years, right? If somebody gets freaking super morbidly obese, I need you to know it didn't happen in 24 hours, right? So if somebody gets super morbidly obese, they can't expect to be like, no, I just need 14 days on, I'll be fine. I'm going to fit into the size 6 and I'll be good. Ain't no way. Even on Ozempic, ain't no way. Come on now. Okay? A belief is nothing more than a chronic pattern of thought. Okay? So it's a process. It's a process. There doesn't have to be shame or stigma connected to the process. There also doesn't have to be angst, bitterness, or resentment connected to the process, okay? Because every time you are being asked to think differently, try again, 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 you need to understand that that is a stepping stone towards your trophy, the reward, the outcome, the new life, the peace that you deserve. So don't fight the process either because you're just making the process all the more shitty, right? You're working hard enough. I just said that. Remember we just did that? You know what I mean? Okay. Okay. So, find better feeling thoughts, okay? Like for instance, maybe you got a big job to do. It's like, okay, well, I got to move out of this place. I have 30 days or less than 30 days. I got to get this, or I got this inspection coming, and blah, 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 blah. And you can sit there, stand there, lay there just the same and be like, this is hard. This is how it's hard. These are the many ways that it is overwhelming, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sitting here saying, oh my God, why would you ever have feelings? And anytime that you have feelings, they're damn sure not valid. I'm not saying that. It's just here's an example and dare I say a chance to think better feeling thoughts, right? Okay, I have 4 rooms to clean. If I clean one room at a time, so break it down because otherwise you're like, I have 4, and just the same, here's another truth. I have 4 rooms to clean. This is going to be, right? What are you telling the universe? It's going to be hard. So it's going to be hard. You already had 4 rooms to clean, right? You want to make sure it's hard to clean all 4 of them rooms. And maybe somebody's saying, well, I know what's in them, right? Okay, and you want to make the whole fucking thing worse by, like, what, punishing yourself through an already arduous task where it is high key, not even low key, overwhelming. But to sit there, lay there, stand there and go, well, I'm overwhelmed, and you're going to stay stuck. And then that's you doing that to you. Okay, because free will is a fickle bitch, right? And you always got to work to retrain what you're using that free will with. And it starts with your thoughts, your intentions. All right. Why are you here? Why do you want the job? Why do you want the apartment? Why do you want the connection? Some people, they get so hyper focused on getting into that connection. Once they get there, they don't know what to do, and they don't even know how to keep the person. Isn't that just sounding like a big fat waste of time? Just saying, right? But you can practice your story of physical well-being as well coming out. So some of you connected to pile one that are here, and maybe you understand that, you know, you've got some aches and pains, all right, etc., etc. And I don't want to get into it, and I don't mean to seem callous. It's just that I know the spiritual laws and principles. I don't want anybody, myself included, going down a rabbit hole, but going, I've got this diagnosis, I've got that diagnosis. You're hyper focusing. Okay, it's one thing to have the freaking diagnosis, and you know, maybe you do need to take the medication, maybe you do need the therapy, maybe you do need blah 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 blah. But the hyper focus, and then what are you gonna do next time you meet somebody that seems cool and they're a stranger and you're already looking for friends? What are you going to say? Like, I have this diagnosis, I have that. You're literally giving a laundry list of maybe why people might be reserved to even try to engage with you and make themselves vulnerable and go to your house. See how you're punching away the very blessings that are looking to come for you? And I'm saying this because I feel like many people are not realizing that. They have yet to get that. And I want you to get that. Okay? Um, You get what you think about, whether you want to or not. Okay, it's very clear. And many of you go, well, it doesn't work for money, because you're sitting there, laying there, standing there, talking the affirmations out, listening to the tapes that allow for you to retrain your subliminal mind, and you're not believing because you have some form of self-worth issue, perhaps, because you have been so damn disappointed time and time and time again, perhaps, because you have been templated into some form of lack mindset from your family, from your society, perhaps. Maybe all of those things, maybe more. Okay, but it's up to you to really get into your situation. It's all different from one person to the next. I get that, though we're connected. It can be very different from one person to the next. And take responsibility at creating your life inside of this new earth energy, new earth consciousness. Why would you not take the opportunity to enjoy such a wonderful opportunity, you guys? You work so hard to get here. This is your reward. I know it can easily be thought just the same as this is more work for you. What do we just talk about? How are you going to tell the Most High, like, oh, so you expected me to, well, that's too much. You expect, right? Knowing, okay, because those that know. And if you break it down and if you check back and think back, you're going to know this is straight facts. You don't do much of anything alone. Whether you have Tom, Dick, or Harry around or not, whether you have Barb, Brenda, Susan around or not, Xander, Felix, Alex, or not. So you either believe that and live like you believe that because you believe it, not because you're faking it, masking it up, trying again to pretend. Okay? Or you're going to stay in some form of stagnant energy that was never meant for you. How about that? It was never meant for you beyond the lesson that it poses. So again, you know, be mindful, be intentional about the way that you live and think and talk about yourself and others. Okay. Let me see here. The spirit is saying for somebody connected to pile number one, there is some sort of significant health issue. There is I'm hearing grave concern, and the spirit saying basically that's the whole ticket right there. You know, when you worry, and you know, I don't I don't want to, and I don't intend to come across as heartless delivering this message. I tend to be matter of fact because I don't want to mess up the channeling and I want to be clear. Okay, so just for anyone wondering, right? not sitting here saying like, oh, receiving like a fatal type of diagnosis is just something that should just roll down your back. I get, on a personal note, okay. Um, but at the same time, you know, what are you agreeing to? Are you agreeing to succumb to that diagnosis? Or are you agreeing to overcome it? Or are you at least agreeing to um, manage whatever new lifestyle changes that it may require? Because if you are doing much of anything and the whole time in the back of your mind going, I know I'm going to die, I know this is bad, I know this hurts so bad, and I feel so sick, you know, you're not helping the situation. And I think that's maybe for one person here that's doing that. I'm not trying to word curse project onto you, and you do not need to out yourself, okay? But please take heed to that part of the message, if nothing else, babe, if that's you, okay? Um, Collective, attached to pile number one. If your mindset is fixed, try to free yourself from that and rise above it. Don't place limitations on what you think you can achieve. Don't stand in your own way. Allow yourself to flourish. Okay. Welcome abundance in all forms of your life. Abundance has nothing to do with just money, and thankfully so. You know, when you tally up some of the goods and services, you know, if you had to call up a friend, let's just say it this way, and you know, you spent 45 minutes on the phone crying, they helped you want to know what that would cost at the psychiatrist office, okay? Goods and services. Somebody baked you a pie and gave you a meal, you know, twice a week for a few weeks because they knew you were down bad. Do you want to know how much that would cost at the grocery store, at the caterer? But some people are so money focused. No, I need it in cash. Why? So it can restrict you and be less than what you deserve? Somebody please get this. Okay? You are not moving too slowly, collective. Again, this divine timing keeps coming through the channeling for a reason, and it means different things for all of us at different times. It's not always connecting to a lover connection, to be clear. It's connecting to all aspects of life, all aspects of needs and wants, perhaps, okay, for a season or two or time or two, depending on who all I'm addressing and what all you are facing, wanting, and, you know, looking for. Um, but it's already enough to do the steps and know that you're doing the work. This is for somebody who's doing the work, right? You don't need to actually add pressure and be like, though I'm doing the work, it's not good enough. Because that's what you're telling yourself when you are looking for problems in what you are doing, right? Instead, boost yourselves up. Wouldn't you flourish a lot better? Maybe you'd work faster. Maybe you'd work a lot more passionately, pleasantly. Maybe you'd start to work a lot more healthily. Make sense? All right. So, you know, sometimes it happens to the best of us. We can be quite counter productive from really just being a little counterintuitive. Okay. Check into your intuition. It will not steer you wrong. Okay. Um, but Spirit wants you to know, pal number one, you're at the sweet spot between taking care of yourself and still making advancements on your goals, right? Could you imagine if the empire you were building, for those that resonate with wanting to do, you know, leave this realm with some legacy wealth left behind, right? Could you imagine if you just straight did all the work, like you never slept, you never took care of yourself, maybe you never went to the spa to just kind of, you know, maybe you never regulated your central nervous system, you know, maybe you never really stretched your ass, right, just to make sure that the fascia and the muscles and the tissue were viable and good, you know, maybe you know, never thought to do that. Well, eventually you'll have to, because it won't really be a thought. It'll be something you can't get off your mind because of the pain, because of the lack. You know, if you did all of the work and you got the legacy wealth, how would you keep it without your health? Am I rhyming? Wow. Okay. But on this path, there is no such thing as being behind. Smile, breathe, and carry on. Okay, as I look at that chariot energy, right? Smile, breathe, and carry on. You are well underway. You are in alignment. Keep going. Just because you hear messages talking about you're in alignment doesn't mean like period, end of story, you can lay down now. Like, no, okay? Trust the wait. You are being prepared for your blessings. In order to receive, you have to be ready to receive. Things you are going through now are not random. Trust the flow of the universe, okay? If your mindset is fixed, try to free yourself from that. Oh, I already wrote, blah, blah. Sorry, hold on. Let me not get these cards all effed around in sorts. All right, so speaking of this chariot, you guys, pulling from the tarot. All right, so what is incoming for you? Well, it's hidden right now. You can't see it. You don't know about it, but you've been preparing for it with the hangman energy on the other side of the moon. You just need to balance out a little bit, babe, right? Maybe you need to make more choices, or maybe you need to not hyper focus on certain types of choices. And what I mean by that is, like, if you are a content creator, maybe you're saying, oh gosh, you know, I'm not camera ready until this, that, and the third is situated, put together. Ain't no way. Like, Spirit says, you know, you got to go and make that content, and those that are intuitive with their content creation and you're giving messages and things, you got to go on and deliver, right? Perfection was never a thing, and it's definitely not a prerequisite. So you go and do what you have to do, kind of thing. And as you kind of balance things out and understand maybe even more where you do require balance, you'd have to check. It's different for everyone. It's still a general collective message. You hit that ace, baby, okay? And this is money, but this is also abundance. This is expansion. This is that legacy wealth for some that are actively building that. And with your 90s affirmations card, it says, now is the time to unplug from the information superhighway and enjoy your own personal peace dividend. Okay. So eventually, when you get to the point of that next milestone, you will kind of be living in this. But for right now, it's almost like this could give you even more clarity, next steps, that $1,000,000 idea for you to kind of unplug, detox from some of the social media and electronic devices and the things emitted off of that, dare I say, okay? And that will help you with that Two of Pentacles need, that balance, all right? And I forgot to make mention, you guys, I apologize, pile number one. I am not happy that I forgot this part, but I know it's because I put it in the back. You guys, let's just take a moment. For those resonating with pile number one, and I'm going to hydrate because my throat. You can ask a question. All right. You do not need to put it in the chat box for this. This is connecting to pile one, but we're going to do it for each pile, just a heads up, so that, you know, from here on out, I don't need to remind. And I'm going to have a yes, no answer for you. And I'm going to give you whatever else I can give you referable to the information off the card as I see it and as I receive it. Okay. So we're going to take a moment, and we are going to give you a moment to figure out what might your question be. Between you and Spirit, you guys, you don't have to share. Okay. And in the meantime, you guys, I'm going to wrap up pile number one. Hold on, we're not on. Are we still on pile number one? God help me. Okay, pile number one. Hold on, how do we have... Oh, I'm tripping because I was like, how do we already have a quote card? But that was for the collective. So sorry, you guys. Pile number one. Great people do things before they are ready. They do things before they know they can do it. Doing what you're afraid of, getting out of your comfort zone, taking risks, that's what life is. That's a quote by Amy Poehler. All right, how fitting is that? I didn't even know what the quote said until now. All right, so to wrap up pile number one, we've got your answer is a yes, and it says full of possibility. I'll take it if you don't. And it says plenty. I'll take it if you don't. And it says creating abundance. Oh, I'll take it if you don't, collective. All right. So pile number one, it seems like you are in alignment, doing a bang up job. Maybe stop being so hard on yourself. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what state you might be in. And I'm going to ring the bell. It's such a loud bell. I'm trying to like gently... Like, look at her. She's so pretty though, but she's like big and heavy, right? Wait, let me not like finger her face, right? She's so pretty. She's like, I love her so much. But that's why I'm like awkward with it. I tried to even find the original bell, but it's packed somewhere, and I do not know. And I still, for the life of me, cannot find that little tiny pink bell. I'm like, what? Like, what is my life? Like, I have questions. All right, so let's wrap up pile number one with those states. Okay. All right. Now, you guys, if your state isn't in here and you're like, well, I heard the message and I know it was for me. Okay, nobody's fighting you. You know what I mean? All right, let's see. Okay. So for pile number 1, I get it if your if your state's not in here. But we've got Nevada, we've got North Dakota, we've got Ohio, the Buckeye State. We've got Idaho, we've got Hawaii, Alabama, Vermont, Washington. Hold on. Felt like it was a 2-for-1 there. Hold on. Okay, Washington. Washington, you thick or something? No, let me stop. Somebody's thick from Washington. We got Massachusetts, Wyoming, and Missouri. All right. Let me just shuffle these for the next round. Change is upon us. Change. Oh, that's chain. I'm hearing chain of fools, and I'm thinking it said change. Why would I hear that? Wait, what's this about? Chain of fools. Let me see something really quick, because that might be a thing. Hold on. Let me just see. Chain of fools. Lyrics. Oh, Aretha Franklin. Oh, shoot. We about to get up into pile number 2. Let me... Hold on. Oh, Spirit about to tell the tea. I can't wait to get into pile number 2. Let me see. Let me see if I can keep that there like that. Okay, gotta focus. All right, let me see who is in the chat for the freebies. happy super belated birthday, Spoonie. All right. Okay, let me see. So I think we are starting. If I skipped over saying hi to you, I need you to know it's definitely not on purpose, and I definitely love you. Okay. So all right. Love and Light Canupria. Okay, let's see about Rishab. Okay, contact in this week. Oh, okay, contact in this. Ooh. That's gonna be a yes. Okay, and the reason why I say that is initially the Queen of Cups, but I'm also giggling because it's cutie. With the Devil card and the Knight of Swords. Now, like, as far as the yes, no, they're no's, but like, as far as what the tarot part of the cards are saying, and the bottom of the deck being soulmate, this person is like quite smitten over you. You might say obsessed in a healthy way, right? And whatever you're putting on online, if that's you, or they're trying to find whatever you're putting out online just to see, to make sure that they don't miss it. Okay, it's almost giving like you might come out often as the star, in energy for like into the tarot, in your readings. That may not be the case if you've not had readings before, but the way that this person's energy seems to, it's almost like if you energetically ask them to pick a tarot card, not in reality, but energetically, that they'd be like the star. All right, but that's what I have for you, Canupria. Let's see about David messaging Mira MS. Okay. Okay. Ooh. So you can't have a general, Teresa, because it's a yes no. Like the live stream rule state. So okay. So we have a yes for MS regarding David contacting Mira. Or excuse me, Mira. So sorry. And with the Seven of Pentacles, really talking about like whatever efforts, okay, paying off. This could be talking about somebody having been focused on work or building, okay, but also referable to the connection. They definitely would be intending to nurture it. Okay, that's what I got for you, MS. All right, let's see here. Okay, Fiona, anybody trying to be super religious, can you just kick them off because they're so ignorant and they're judgy and they project and it's very unlike God. And so it just, we don't need it. I don't need my collective trying to ferret through something that just is low vibes. I appreciate you, Fiona, for that. So just so you know, anytime you see that next, thank you, next, thank you, please, okay? Because I am very, I'm, just to be clear, this is not about you, Fiona. I'm very protective of the collective, and I don't like that religious spirit. It is very demonic, often. Sometimes people come on and they're templated, they don't know any better. But when you see that kind of stuff, it's at that point some form of attempted spiritual attack. I say it that way because it would always ever be an attempt for me. But again, we have different people coming in and learning, and we're all at different parts of this journey. And so I just want to be protective over you guys. Okay. I love you guys so much. I wouldn't want anyone to start, becoming fear filled or, I just, and I want to protect you from the energies. You guys have to go in those streets enough. You guys have to go into the workplaces enough. Okay. And it's so funny because Yeshua's name isn't even Jesus. They're ignorant on that. And they're already assuming, which makes you ignorant, that I don't know Yeshua, let alone have him as a guide. So it's like, it's just annoying. And I don't want to be annoyed, and I don't want any one of us to be annoyed. So thank you, Fiona. I'm really going to ask about maybe getting some more moderators on here because I know that it shouldn't be left to like one moderator to assist us. I'm not sure. I had others. I'm not sure. Things change, seasons change. I get it. But thank you, Fiona, for your consistency as well as your hard work. And everybody better be nice to Fiona because she is wonderful to us all when she assists us with protecting ourselves. Okay. So thank you. And I just can't say thank you enough, Fiona. Okay. From my heart, and I like to say from the collective as well. Okay. Yeah, that energy is just shitty shit. Okay. I'm gonna have to meditate, Spoonie, because I really want to make sure that there's I just me personally, I get nervous to have moderators because it can be such a risk. And that's not me thinking about like, oh, so and so is such a risk. It's just that in those instances I do have to meditate. All right. So I can't just be on the fly like, everybody can be a moderator, if that makes sense. Because I do care about what I do here in case anyone wondered, right? So I obviously am going to be protective of that just the same as I am protective over the collective. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyhow, I just, I've been projected onto all my life inside and outside of the church, and this is just like, we're done because we're on the new earth. Like, they're not even on the same timeline. They don't need to be in the fucking chat. All right. Let me calm down. Okay, so who am I doing anyway? I think we're good then, right? Because because Teresa she's not requesting a yes no. Okay. Only yes no questions, you guys. Play the rules. Be nice. Be nice to me. Okay, I'm nice to you guys. I give you more than what I could give you. I'm not a gatekeeper. All right. So play the rules. Or, I mean, follow along the rules. So like, ugh. Anyways, ugh. I'm gonna ring the bell. All right. Sorry. It sounds bad because I can't ring it the way I should. But anyways, pile number 2, we're just going to go and do it. We'll say it's at 59. This is the Broke Bitch Tarot, and this is the Emperor card connecting to the reading, okay? Now, whoever I'm speaking to for pile number 2 could be tall. White American. I can say it that way, you guys, because I'm mulatto, so I'm like white and black. For anyone wondering, I'm not a racist, okay? I don't even like racist people. Like, I don't like the energy of that, so don't try me, okay? We could have Hispanic or Latino and plus size as well coming through for the aesthetic of the individuals, perhaps, not always, but perhaps connecting to pile number 2. All right, so you have, I understand the rules of the quote unquote game of life, okay? And it says, now that I understand the rules of this game of eternal life, now that I understand the powerful law of attraction and deliberate creation, see, deliberate creation, that's what your guides are asking us to enter into. If you have yet to do so, especially, like, hello, okay, we're in the new, it's now, it's happening now, we're doing this now, right? Um, Okay, so now that I understand the powerful law of attraction and deliberate creation, I can pre-pave segment by segment my life experience into becoming the allower I was born to be. And so some of you, connecting back to that money, all right, and entering out of the lack mindset, okay, you got to address the ability to allow the money to come to you. You got to address, for those wondering, where's my best friend and my lover? You've got to allow that connection to come to you. Well, how do you allow it? By doing your part, by doing you so good that you just can't help but change and shift to a certain vibrational frequency where really no one else is allowed to be around you. They can't be there. They can't touch you unless they are a match. Make sense? It's a wonderful thing when you get there, of course. Okay. Um, because collective, even if you resonate with pound number two or not, you're destined to a life of fulfillment and joy. All right, the card actually says never ending joy. I don't want to sound like I was selling you a pipe dream, you know what I'm saying? But joy, like that is supposed to be part and parcel of your lifestyle. Not, people talk about stress like it's supposed to be part of the lifestyle. People talk about fatigue like it's supposed to be part of the lifestyle. It's not. No, it's not. Okay. I can be more particular about the thoughts I think with this beautiful angelic code of 44, literally the angel number, a master angel number. Speaking of protection, right? So you are protected in your journey of basically retraining your brain. Okay, you were supported in whatever you maybe even feel like is a baby step. Like, gosh, I hope by the time I lay it down for good, I've completed some of this mission. You're stop putting the pressure on. Just continue. Just continue. Just don't stop. Right? You are very particular about what you eat, and yet you are not particular about what you think. That's for some of you, maybe not all. We would encourage you to be particular about what you think. Think about wellness, not lack of it. Think about being as you want to be rather than the lack of it. For the potential or for illness or wellness lies within all of us at all times. It is what you make of it, literally. Okay? And whatever you give your attention to begins to foster within you the manifestation of the essence of that thought. Hello? Thoughts become thoughts become words, and words become things. You're actively, gosh, it sounds like magic, right? Creating into the space, into your environment, into your home, into your workplace, into the world. Okay? What? Well, you've got to be in charge of that. You've got to make decisions and be disciplined about it. Okay? Thought is very powerful. And so that's why you would require discipline about this. Well, think about it. If all your life you thought it and was taught that it was appropriate to talk about how men are always something negative, fill in there, or women are always fill in something negative there. Okay, I don't even want to get to the specifics because we're not even on that type of time. Make sense? All right. But if you had been taught and it was accepted to be toxic with other individuals, whether friends, family, or foe, then it's going to be harder, perhaps. It might be a little bit more logical to understand that you would have to climb out of it, that you would have to really be disciplined. And again, I'm going to think differently. I'm going to put my coach hat on and pump me up instead of tear me down. Oh, but I'm stupid because, oh, stupid me was, girl, how many times you gonna claim to yourself and others and the fucking universe that you're dumb? Is that smart? Right? Could you create change? Yes, you could. Yes, you could. And it would start by what you speak and think. Okay? So you're doing that. When you realize what you're all doing, then you can better craft what you're doing and get a better experience out of things. A lot of you, maybe you didn't notice, you didn't know, but once you know, don't act like you don't. Okay? You can focus on well-being of all things, including the physical. All right? Now this card was interesting. Illness is about resistance, not about age. So we were talking about all aspects of change. Of course, we would talk about physical, makes sense. I tried to get into a little bit more of the financial and basic, and I tried to get into something else. I won't even mention it, and basically was told no. The cards would not come out. So you know, we'll get to that later. No worries, right? Rome wasn't built in a day. But your physical well being, like everything else, pile number two, is profoundly affected by the beliefs you hold. And so as you get older, most of you seem to degenerate. Older people often do experience more illness and less vitality. But the reason for the decline of people as they get older is not because their physical bodies are programmed to break down over time, but because the longer they live, the more they find to fuss and worry about. What are you saying about your body? What are you speaking into it is also a great question. Um, you want to create a stream of well-being. Well, how could you do that? And some people, somebody's thinking, oh, go to the gym, oh, diet. You better do those things too, okay? But you want to know something that might work faster? Speaking over yourselves, being grateful for your body and telling it that. And I know it sounds crazy, it sounds a little delusional, like, oh, just get a stuffed animal and have a tea party while you're at it. Maybe if your inner child says that'd be fun, you should, right? Whew. Okay, but you get the sentiment here. Dolores Cannon also has, you see videos all over the internet of her with that snippet talking about, basically you are the master of the universe that is your body. So and that the body literally, people talk to plants. Why wouldn't you talk to your ass? Make sense? Okay, FAFO on that one. Just saying. Okay. Whenever you talk to us, okay, so this is somebody from your spiritual guidance team, okay, for pile number two. This is your spiritual guidance team because it feels like multiple with this us. Whenever you talk to us, it never goes unheard. So pile number two, you could have really been, maybe you two had some form of health scare. Maybe you two just really had some pleas or cry out to God, to the universe about, certain aspects of life or certain aspects of the change that you're looking to see and to cultivate. And they want you to know, again, your spiritual guidance team, that they hear every single word. Please let this be a confirmation that we are assisting you for whoever this resonates for, guiding you and ensuring your wishes finally come to fruition. But again, it's that divine timing. Makes sense? You got to be ready to receive. And there's all these sub little compartmental aspects of thoughts and habits and perhaps change that might be the prerequisite to bringing that in. It's just kind of like I talked about those waiting for certain connections that you've been told time and time and time again that this person's coming in, but you're not seeing it and you're hyper focusing and you're getting off track a little bit. Okay, you can rein it back in by being patient and understanding and trusting in the universe when it says everything is going to come together. Okay, whether you're here for a connection or not. Pound number two. Where you are right now is where you are supposed to be. Don't compare yourself to others. That only adds pressure. There's that word again, you guys. Take the pressure off. My goodness, you already got enough going on. Makes sense? Take each day as it comes and for what it is. You are a better person, Spirit wants you to know, than you were yesterday. See, that's what matters. There's really no competition except for the versions of yourself that you climbed out of, right? And even they aren't competition any longer, are they? Growth isn't easy, but you've got this, the card says, okay? You're feeling somewhat confused by the events that are unfolding around you and the various seemingly contradictory information that is coming your way. Trust your instincts and do what they are telling you to do, and you will learn a lot about yourself and the direction you want your life to take. All right, so getting to the tarot, you guys. All right, we came out the gate with the Emperor. Let's talk about it. Here he is again. Maybe somebody you know looks like this. Maybe you look like this. Take what resonates. Hold on a second. These came out. All right. Those got a little messed up, but I know how it happened. Okay. This might be a synchronicity. I messed up the cards the way that I know that they came out in chronological order because I was trying to clean them up. And where you are right now is where you're supposed to be. Take the pressure off. Somebody's probably just trying to do a little bit too much, you know, and I get that too. It's like, you know, this does seem to be somebody connected to Pile 2 who's got a very strong energy. It could be earth placements. I almost wanted to say stubborn, but I don't mean stubborn in any kind of like negative connotation, other than the aspect that can bring you to work a little too hard and to ultimately burn out. And I don't like that for you or anybody. I don't like it when it happens to me or when I do that to myself. I guess I should more aptly state, right? So, or when I have done that in the past, right? I'm not claiming to do it tomorrow or nothing. Calm down. No, let me stop. But the Emperor, the Knight of Cups, leading to the Sun, okay, is the actual chronological order of this tarot message. Okay, leading to the Nine of Wands, and then ultimately the Six of Swords. There's that graduation type of energy, and we'll talk about it. And but bam, there's your ace. Ace is all over the place. I love that for you guys. I love that for the collective, as you should. Okay, aces talk about divine breakthrough assistance. Okay, this particular ace talks about a new beginning as well as a clear new beginning. But really, the long and the short of it is, some of you, okay, have been looking for some aspect of clarity. You could have been feeling a little hopeless about obtaining some form of clarity. This could be connecting to your health, doesn't have to be the case. Okay, and Spirit wants you to know there is a divine turnaround in that. Now, for others, you are with this Emperor energy connecting to someone or connected to someone, and this would be a lover from the past. Now, however long ago or however short ago, that's up to you to know, right? There could have been some self-sabotage in the connection, in this connection on the part of this person or your own. Take what resonates here. And Spirit wants you to know that, you know, basically this graduation energy leading to the new the new path, right? Basically is ultimately to take place. Now, there could be some significance to Las Vegas. Maybe somebody's going to tie the knot ultimately in Las Vegas. Doesn't have to be the case. But irregardless, your 90s affirmation card for pile number 2 is you are so money, baby, even when you don't even know it. Okay. I just get you're a really good person. Of course, everybody here is, duh. But pile number 2, it's almost like this. Divine heart space energy coming through for you, like just can't wait to kind of give you your just rewards. Love and light, country. And you guys, remember you were supposed to have your question between you and Spirit, okay? So I'll give you some time in case maybe those forgot, and I'll give you your quote by Meghan Markle here. And it says, "You are enough just as you are," right? You're so money, baby. Okay, so you really do, your guides do not play about you. Divine has a soft spot for you, pile number 2. So this Emperor, when he comes in, he damn sure has to treat you right, okay? He or she, however it works out there, but that Emperor energy. All right, and so for your yes and no question, not for the free tarot, to be clear, this is for pile number 2. All right, I'm just giving left and right over here, okay? But your answer is yes. Okay. And it says uplifts your spirit, easy to do, and light work. Okay. So this person, for some that are connecting to this energy, whether guy, girl, what have you, with knowing that there's this lover's connection from the past that will be coming through and ultimately, have a bright spot in the journey. This person is going to uplift your spirit. They're going to help you. This is definitely giving soulmate type of energy, someone to assist you and not take from you. And I love that when I see that. And for those that, you know, maybe you don't resonate with the aspect of pile number 2 that connects to a connection. I mean, either way, with this graduation energy and the new ace, it's giving the yes is still a ginormous yes in the sense of being highly satisfied. And I love that for you as well. Okay. All right. So that's what I have for pile number 2. I'm going to again ring the bell. And in the meantime, we're going to close out pile number 2 with the states, just for those to maybe gain a little bit more clarity. Was this, or a little bit more confirmation, was this my pile for pile number 2? You guys, if you're still eligible for your free yes/no tarot reading, you may enter your question according to the live stream rules in the chat box. And for those that maybe don't know what the live stream rules are, you can scroll up because our moderator Fiona has placed them into the chat box for everyone to see. Thank you. All right. Okay, so we got South Dakota, Virginia, Oregon, Oklahoma, Colorado, Wyoming, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Delaware, North Carolina, and South Carolina. That's so funny. They didn't even come out together. But okay, Virginia at the bottom of the deck. All right, so that's what we have for pile number 2. Let me get these out of the way before I confuse myself. Let me do this too. Hold on. Okay. Ooh, jewelry brand. Okay. Okay. From what I can take of this country, okay, so we got the no, right? Which kind of is kind of hitting the mark on the current energy of your daughter, connecting to this jewelry situation. And at the time, the bottom of the deck was the Judgment card. I asked Spirit to clarify. We do have the Ace of Swords, and at the bottom of the deck, the Three of Swords. Wheel of Fortune under it, okay, and Two of Wands. Temperance. What that is telling me is that there might be a better start, even if it's just for right now, for her to focus on. Um, you know, it's like your girl. It's like, I can do many things. Should I do them all the time? Should I give them the same priority? Should I give them the same passion? This also could mean that, you know, maybe there is a lack of passion, unlike moon cycles past, regarding this. As far as breaking out of the shell, there seems to be some anxiety, and maybe she actually needs to get to the point where she is no longer in heartbroken energy, because she's being honest with herself that she wants something different, something new. Okay. And you know what? It's fun teaching kids to be an entrepreneur, but it can be there can be a lot of shifts in that too. And you never want to teach a child, especially from such a young age, that if the passion's there, you still gotta slave over it. If that makes sense, because you know the world will teach any child that with ease. And I just think that the way to make a strong entrepreneur is to really drive home that, listen, you know, you need to make sure that you're like highly passionate about fill in the blank, whatever it is, because you're definitely, and of course give them this understanding just the same, going to have to work at that. And so you need to make sure that you're passionate enough to kind of still like fill in that gap when things get hard, you know, or when business is down. Okay. And that's a thing with supplies and things. Yeah, I've let's see if she comes back around. Let's see. I've been there though, babe. Like I'm giggling because I've been there with my own kids. So, um, hell, I've been there with friends. I, um, she can come back around. This just, maybe there is just some anxiety. Maybe there's just some overwhelm. Look, we're back to this. Okay. Maybe talk to her about whatever else outside of the jewelry might be bothering her. Maybe there is an underlying something or other. Because guess what? You can be as passionate as you want to be about something, but if there is some underlying issue or, too much anxiety, etc., it can get in the way in spite of that passion, just the same, okay? Yeah, that's, and even country love, even like, because I wanted to say this too for any other parents listening. I'm not saying it like you've got to grow your kid like, hey, are you sure 1,010% that 3 years down the line, 3 months down the line, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, give them the option to learn what they want without over giving. Okay, because it could be a process, and then there you are. That would be like, let's say, I'm just gonna use a stupid example, you guys. Go with it. I'm not delusional, okay? What if your kid came to you and said, like, oh, mommy, daddy, I would like a whole new wardrobe. And let's say, like, who cares? Maybe your daddy wore bucks. You go, oh, okay, right? And then, like, next week she goes, or they go, I want a whole new wardrobe. Like, you might maybe find, depending on the month, right, especially if you're school shopping, that you might buy sometimes within a month, a couple weeks, an item or two, but it's not going to be no damn full-on wardrobe. What all could they do with it anyway? It's just unhealthy. It's just outside of balance, right? And so sometimes when we are learning and growing our souls with our kids, especially because, they're our hearts, we learn lessons too. It's like, oh, don't overgive. Don't, you can support without having to bleed out, kind of thing. Lesson learned, right? And I've been there too. So no judgment, only love and light. I promise you that much, okay? I think that makes me think of the Cosby Show, like the OG Cosby, because I think they had an episode about that with Theo and stuff. Or maybe one of the girls. No, maybe it was one of the girls because they were talking about the clarinet. I bought this, like musical instruments. You know how expensive they would be in school. At least back then. I don't know if they give them away free now. I would imagine not. But it cost a pretty penny to be in band, as unpopular as those kids were. And ask me how I know, because my mom was all like, "We don't have money, so I couldn't even be unpopular in band." Oh well, I win. Let me stop. All right, let's see here. Positive there about Rochelle. Ooh. If you're getting hot cold feelings from Rochelle, it could be that this is a soulmate of a certain variety called karmic. Okay. Now, karmic doesn't have to be like, oh, Rochelle was just completely thrown off to the point where everybody can see it a mile away. She's troubled. This, that, she's busting car windows. And I'm not saying that. Um, but with this ultimate no coming out, all right, with the double card energy, and I'm taking a look around, I see the Knight of Swords and the Six of Cups. That tells me a couple things. You do have some rental property in her mental space, okay? But you don't pay rent there. And maybe you don't know this, but before your ego gets all boosted up and stuff, perhaps, I'm not calling you egoic. I'm just being funny. This card talks about mental health issues. All right. So there could be some hot and cold on the strength of that. Like maybe it's a good day, maybe it's a good week, maybe she wants you at that time, maybe she doesn't. And it could be because there is a pull there that you both share because of having known each other in previous lifetimes. Okay. Um, but with this Nine of Wands, ongoing, oh yeah, it gets worse. If you were to entertain Rochelle, right, even if she were accommodating, it wouldn't be a good fit. So Spirit's asking you to tap into your intuition and really know that, because if not, you might be in for a bumpy ride that, gosh, I don't think your spirit team wants you to go through, and I would hate to see it too. All right. It's so funny because you ask, like, is there any warmth, right? And I just immediately was like, man, if you gotta ask, whatever warmth there is ain't worth it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's like the epitome of being like, oh my gosh, I spoke to Jesse and he gave me 3 breadcrumbs. Girl, could you believe it? Like, 3 breadcrumbs? And you're happy because it was multiple bread? Like, I don't even want the 1 crumb. Like, don't come over here talking that. You know what I mean? Like, you're very welcome, Positive Bear. Welcome, like Chelsea Daly. Okay, now let me see here. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Oh no, so you may be the cause of the anxiety. No, don't be so hard on yourself, country love. Don't. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. But just talk to her. You know, it's okay. Maybe there's something just unknown. You know, like I meant to say unrelated. Okay. Thank you, Fiona, for putting in the live stream rules again. For those to follow along, please, and thank you. If not, we're gonna get into pile number 3 because we've been at this a minute. So, I don't want to say Positive Bear that she doesn't care. I think she's not a candidate, and so you shouldn't really care about whatever else her opinions are about you, if that makes sense. And that's a healthy mindset to take on. Because if somebody, I mean, Spirit just told you, Positive Bear, that Rochelle would cause you angst and maybe even take your money. I also saw some aspects perhaps off of the devil card energy that talked about mental health, as well as materialism. So, you know, she might be the type to say some things one day to get some things on another day. And, you know, it just, if somebody's not a match, they're just not a match. And even if you found out that somebody isn't a match with you, you shouldn't care if they care about you or not. It's just, it's like how people say it's nothing personal, it's just business. It's like, it's nothing personal, it's just vibrational. You're just either a match for me, babe, or you're not. Like, I can't force it. We can't force it. We're not any longer forcing it because we don't have to, because we're in the new earth energy, and that consciousness is so empowered, right? Is so boosted up, okay? Is so disciplined and trained in thought patterning and recreating thought patterns, all right, that are more beneficial for us, that we don't have time to get excited over crumbs, to get excited over people who are hot and cold and don't know what they want, and yes, no, maybe so, I don't know. You just don't have time to get dizzy by the fuck shit, if that makes sense, okay? All right, let's see here. Let's see about Destiny and Chelsea sitting in the tree. Ooh. Okay, yeah. So Destiny Earthman has romantic feelings for you. Might be low-key obsessed. The reason why I say that is because, ooh, you guys are both manifesting each other. So the initial yes is yes. I mean, the initial card is yes. Judgment, right? There could be a lot of overthinking on your part or hers about this. And like I said, you guys are both manifesting this. And this would be a match. And it is coming in. Okay, the Sun card is the happiest card in any tarot deck. When you get that connecting to the freaking Magician, I mean, that's all all systems go. And the Victory card, 6 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. If you want it, Chelsea wants it. Just saying. Okay? Congratulations. Or if you want it, Destiny wants it, Chelsea, is what I meant to say. I'm like, wait, I heard it. Like, wait, Chelsea? I was talking to Chelsea. Love and Light Screamer, please follow along the live stream rules. Okay. Thank you, baby. Follow the rules, you guys. Okay, I'm going to get into pile number 3 in the meantime because I do want to keep this moving instead of waiting for people to follow the rules, if that makes sense. Okay. Not coming for anybody. I'm just, I like to manage my time wisely. You know, they say work smart. All right. And you already know you all got me working hard. So here we go. Pile number 3, the Wild Unknown pocket size. Okay. For anyone wondering, why is it tiny? That's why we've got this chariot. It could be some significance to horses. All right. Sun, moon energy as well as the pentacles. Maybe somebody has a tattoo with pentacles. All right. And whoever I'm talking to, you could have, don't have to, a baby face. You could be of the busty variety. Could have facial hair, whether guy, girl, what have you. You know, all kinds got hairs, okay? We've got Asian coming out. I apologize because I did tell our lovely viewer from Australia that the card came out, and it really didn't. I didn't know till now, though, in my defense, okay? And Beauty Mark also came out for pile number 3. Now, your first card here, I can feel positive while thinking positive. This is cheat code, okay, for law of attraction. All right. When you are attracting something, you really want to emit that energy that we kind of talked about in pile number 1, that you emit anyway, whether you're intending to or not, whether you're aware of it or not. Okay. Often it can take us to get to an emotional state to even understand that we're emitting much of anything, or that we want to emit much of anything. And for those saying, I don't know what emit means, it means to put off, to put out, like to, it's, you know, your essence, okay? The very reason why when you walk into the room, heads turn, even if you don't consider yourselves a looker or not, it's about the energy, the essence, okay? You may say aura, but I feel like that's not enough of a descriptor word there. This card says, the longer you stay, pile number 3, focused upon what you do not want, the greater and more powerful that thought will become. If you are sensitive to your emotions and withdraw your attention from the unwanted very quickly, you will begin to feel better and you will stop the attraction of the unwanted thing. So, long story short, you're working on this, okay? Or you will, pile number 3, because we were talking about the change. Yes, but we're talking about the change that you're creating nonetheless, okay? I only had so many words for the title. Fault me not, okay? From here, I can get to anywhere I want to be. There's that positivity we love to see. The energy of 12 reducing down to a very divine 3, speaking of divinity as well as divine messages. They could be an angelic code of significance that you may have been seeing, or that you will see after receiving this message. And you guys, this is a general collective message. These messages are also timeless, so you don't have to be on the live stream when you come across the video for it to resonate with you. Make sense? And the card says, it is much easier to achieve great health, okay, for anyone here with health concerns or issues connecting to pile number 3, from moderate health than to achieve great health from poor health. However, you can get wherever you want to be from wherever you are if you are able to distract your attention from the unwanted aspects of your life and focus upon aspects that are more pleasing. Distract yourselves, retrain your thinking, same deal, okay? This is why we use this buzzer, okay, to distract ourselves out of some negative stinking thinking patterns if and when we should find them when we FAFO on this channel, okay? It really is only a matter of focus. We are not guiding you away, your spiritual guidance team is saying, from any action, but instead are encouraging you to find better feeling thoughts first before you act, and then proceed with the action that you feel inspired to follow, okay, according to your intuition, of course. It's just you know, what I'm seeing from one pile to the next, irregardless of which pile you resonate, your spiritual guidance team is just trying to help you add some of the fine tuning tweaks and touches that really allow for your magic. And by magic, I'm not talking bippity boppity. I'm talking about your existence, your powers, the way that you are able to think and speak and create, okay? You know, you'll be able to flow in that magic a lot more powerfully and with a lot more ease. And as you should, because it's new earth energy consciousness, all right, that we're owning up to, okay? Um, so you can choose in every moment to find a better feeling story, all right? Um, you don't like something and you don't see a way to change it immediately, get grateful that you know that change is possible. When you start to baby step through the thought patterning process, you can break it down little by little by little. It's like the old adage, you can't, I don't know why anybody would try to eat an elephant, but the old adage goes, quote, you can't eat an elephant in one bite, end quote. Right? Because the elephant's so big, I get it, but why are we chewing on anything just because it's big is weird. But um, I digress. So, just like with, going back to that example of cleaning, you know, oh my gosh, the house is a mess. And I've got, all this, that, and the third. You can break it down. How many rooms is it? Okay. Break it down. How many days do you want to allow yourself per room if it's like super bad, right? If it's super, maybe you got a lot of knickknacks, you got a lot of breakables, you'd have to change and transition around and wrap up, get rid of, etc., donate, blah 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 blah. Right? Break it down before you even like get to the nitty gritty, because otherwise you're going to be spinning out, you're going to be burnt out, you're going to be frustrated, you're going to feel like a failure. Nobody wants that. Okay, if you resonate with that kind of scenario in the past, of course, okay, um, let this be your confirmation that you are still very much capable. It's just with these tweaks of perception, these, tweaks of action, really getting in, very specific about what you are to do and why before you're actually in the throes of doing it. Okay, it can allow for you to hold on to a lot more mental clarity in the throes of doing whatever actions might be quite triggering, and of course with a lot more ease. And I need not compare my perfection, super ginormous quotes on the word perfection, because quite frankly it does not exist in this realm, to that of others. All right, so this card says, if it had been your intent to be all the same, pile number 3, more of you would be the same, but you are not. And so rather than looking at yourself and acknowledging that you are lacking in this or that, in this type of characteristic, or not, look toward the advantages of that which you are, right? So for me, instantly, yes, thank you, I receive, right? Sheesh. I'm laughing because I know what I was trying to get out. Hold on. For me personally, right, as a child, and it's funny because as soon as I got on, somebody's like, do you have contacts, blah blah blah. As a child, people questioned about my eyes. Okay, I'm biracial, so my eyes are naturally green because, long story short, both parents had recessive genes. Actually, my dad, who is African American, well, was African American, had green eyes. It was really interesting to see there. But anyways, all I ever saw growing up on the television, and I would watch Star Search and things, and McMahon, one by one, there are always these little blonde girls with blue eyes, and of course Barbie. Everybody wanted to be Barbie, and all the makeup was for blonde haired, blue eyes. When you got the little toy things to, mess around with and put your makeup on with Barbie, it was all right. And so of course, ultimately, I got it in my head like, gosh, I wish I had blonde hair and blue eyes. Gosh, I wish I could be pretty like that. And now, after having done the work and learned a lot of hard lessons with putting my self worth in the hearts and minds and hands of other people, um, I want to say quite to my detriment, but I still win. So, I personally, another thing was my hair being biracial. Try having frizzy hair and trying to find the right brushes and things like in that time. Okay. Because, the 80s, they, some people, I guess some Jewish people would have fro like hair, but it was seemingly rare compared to now when everybody's like all mixed around and all the lines are blurred, which I love, by the way, personally, for anyone wondering. But anyhow, I digress. So now, I learned to just really enjoy what you have. Okay, I have these eyes. I love my eyes. I'm grateful to them. And I actually have learned along the way to tell them that as well, so that they serve me well, and they do. Okay. Same deal with my hair. All right. I enjoy the quirky aspect of my hair. There's like, I don't know, 3 curl patterns to it at any given time. And I never really know how it's going to lay from one moment or one day to the next or one activity to the next, right? But I learned to go with the flow. And, many people have remarked on some of the things that I used to cringe about myself. I want you guys to get there. It's not about me. I'm just giving you an example that I know like literally is my truth in order to encourage and inspire you. Okay, you too can. Uh, as you're analyzing or assessing your physical body, spend a greater part of your time looking for the advantages it offers, not just to you, but to the balance of all that is. Okay, so and I know many people, when you think about talking about the body, you start thinking about the ultimate shape. Is it that hourglass, or are you stacked? Are you muscular, are you flat, are you round? Depending on who all I'm talking to and what old body parts, right? And really, what the sentiment of this is, and I can share another example. I believe it was a couple days back. I was doing some of my workout, and I looked down at my knees, and I started massaging them and everything, just trying to make sure that they were good. And I started talking to them, and I said, "Thank you for working," because you know how many years I've been expecting my knees to work, and some people's knees don't. And really, with the history that I've had in life, as far as a physical sense, my knees shouldn't. So I'm grateful to them. The more that you can instill love into your body like that, the less you're going to feel unloved and alone. It's a win-win-win-win-win, you guys. But you have to do the work. And maybe it is most aptly stated, you have to get disciplined in doing it. You have to over and over and over and over. I love me. I choose me. Right? Yeah, but what else? What do you like about you? Does your elbow make you happy when you use it? Should you say thanks? Like, and I know it sounds almost like stupid, right? Like, what do you mean? Like, my freaking, like, what? I gotta say thank you to my eyelashes too? Well, do they help you to keep shit out of your eyes? Did you just assume they'd always be there, even though you get, ones on your pillow or on your eyeglasses or on your cheek all the time? So you know they don't have to be there. Make sense of it, you guys. When you can get grateful for what you're perceiving as the small stuff, and I say it that way because really your meat suit is some freaking biotech that's more amazing than most people's IQ. Just saying. How are you thinking about yourself? Pile number 3, or anyone who can make sense of this, okay? So sit in silence for a moment and listen is your next steps guidance here, okay? The answer is pile number 3. You have been seeking are finally coming to you. Trust and believe that you're going to make it and be exactly where you need to be. And your spiritual guidance is coming through with the come through, saying we are on this journey with you. Hang in there. It's not much longer. Whatever and what all ever you're waiting for. And don't forget pile number 3. We're going to get to that yes, no question for you as well. Your life is about to start moving quickly in some areas. Events that seem to have been on hold suddenly propel forward. Ooh, I love this for you, pal number 3. Move with the flow. There's that word again. And be mindful of what your need, and be mindful of what needs your attention most, right? Maybe you've got a list of priorities. Maybe that list of priorities needs to be changed. Maybe some things need to be dropped off, some things added, some things repositioned. You got to check in and ask for guidance from your spiritual guidance team. Makes sense to do so, right? Because again, you're not doing this thing alone. So they're not going to be like, what the hell are you asking me for? They just said, you know, we are with you on this journey. You can interact with them. Somebody's not interacting with their guides or their guardian angels or the archangels, right? I'm hearing that protect you every night. Okay? Move with the flow and be mindful of what needs your most attention or what needs your attention most. Make decisions rationally but sensibly. Okay? And if it's meant to be collective, pile number 3, it will be. You won't have to force, convince, or worry over it. Worry is not a prerequisite to getting what you want. I'm so sorry you've been templated into that. I'm so sorry that people that were around you that maybe did and or didn't know that, irregardless, didn't stop you from operating in that type of energy and that type of thinking. I'm sorry that people tried to control you while you were thinking that way and allowed for you to think that way, even in a more deepened state, perhaps, so that they control you better. Okay, but now is you time. you to do what? Shine, to thrive, not just simply survive. You survived already. That's how everyone now knows you're capable of this. So keep going. All right. You are attracting everything you need. Trust the timing of your life. Okay. And your 90s affirmation says your inner bling blings brighter than Gwen Stefani with bright blue double top knots in her hair and glittering face gems stuck all over her face. And I guess they couldn't use her likeness. They put this type of illustration on the card. Okay, maybe somebody here favors this type of aesthetic. All right, maybe you put gems on your face or glitter. I do that sometimes. It's a lot of fun. It gets a lot of it can be kind of messy too though, but it is a lot of fun. Sometimes it's fun to get messy. Maybe that's for somebody, like, get a little messy in like a healthy way, right? Make it fun. Okay, so for pile number 3, again, don't forget we got that question in answer to yes, no. All right, coming up, so be mindful of what your question is between you and Spirit. You don't have to put it in the chat for pile number 3. The tarot is coming out with the promise of a new day, with the promise of clarity, with the promise of happiness and joy. I'll take it if you don't, collective, okay? You know, I don't want to make it seem like we're expected to gloss over what we've been through, right? But again, with the sentiment of like, you know, Lot really having the option to look back at said wife, okay, kind of energy. You know, you've gone through so much. Should you live there anymore? It's like you you're in the new earth energy. Should you be living and thinking and reminiscing in the old earth energy? Is that conducive to your mental health, your physical health, and or your spiritual health at this time? And you got to ask. I'm not saying that, oh, you should never remember that fond memory that you had with somebody that every time you look back it makes you feel better. I get that. All right, it's the other stuff, right? We've had a lot of other stuff happen to us. Okay, there's no need to live there anymore. Give yourself permission to release and to allow new energy to come in, to allow this new life that's been being promised to you, I'm hearing to say, to come in. Okay, because there is a promise of, again, this, it could be some significance to Paula Abdul, because I'm just hearing promise, promise of a new day, a new day, right? There's hope here. Chills on that. I mean, literally, I just said it a few moments ago for pile number 2. And I love you guys are getting these aces, these sun cards. The sun card is the happiest card of any tarot deck, regardless of how it's illustrated or not. So serious, it's straight facts. And whoever I'm speaking to with this death card and the Hierophant, you are owed this. You know what I'm saying? Because you earned it. All right. Okay, so let it come in, babe, with this Chariot energy, like we got out the gate. And again, to be clear, what is the it? Ace of Wands. You got an ace. I literally have the best collective hands down. Ain't no way there's going to be aces across the board and y'all are just shitty people. Ain't no way. So anyone trying to come to you proposing that you are a shitty person, I need you to understand they're an off, a demon, somebody that is definitely not allowed to have access to you on your timeline unless and until you consent to it, and that you do not have to consent to engage. You can just simply access denied. Right? Right. You see it happen often in the chat, right? Oh, you said words. Oh, you thought you came in here. Pew pew. Psst, you're out of here. I don't even know. Did you say? Did you hear something? You see something? No, no, we're good. And that is the vibe, okay? And that's how you gotta live, you guys. Otherwise, you get all distracted and perhaps self-sabotaging. Nobody has time for that. It's not on the menu. Okay, you're supposed to be forward focused, co-creating with a lot of hope, a lot of faith, and a lot of awareness, and allowing yourself to be present and expressive of self in a healthy way. Okay, so for those that had maybe a yes no question between you and Spirit, now your answer is no. Okay, so this is the first, or this is the only no that we got tonight. It says stormy relationships, trouble strikes, and uproar. Okay, so this is saying whoever is here on pile number 3, right, at the time, asking about a new phase in a connection, it's not to be. Your guides won't allow for it, okay? Uh, you don't have time to be distracted and, dragged through the mud. Weren't you already? Didn't you? You know that experience. Live differently. Live better. Love better. Love you, okay? That's for some, not all, connected to pile number 3. I get that, but that is for somebody, okay? And so we've got Octavia Butler Bloodchild's quote here to close out pile number 3. And then I will get to the states, of course. It says, "It's amazing what we can do if we simply refuse to give up." And to be clear, because I feel like, just in case somebody's stubborn out there about that connection, this is not about refusing to give up for this connection that I just explained to you, is not to be. Your guides are going to override your wants, and I'm grateful to say that, because whoever I'm speaking to, you're not a match for that individual. And not only that, that individual could harm you in ways that maybe you are yet unaware of. And gosh, I'd like to go out on a limb and say you would not be necessarily consenting to. Okay, so please stop and just move on and know that there is greater up ahead. There's no way, you guys, that you would receive a message ever, or understand somehow, who cares how, whether it's through tarot, personal download, paranormal activity, that you are that fucking protected to the point where someone that you feel, but again, feelings can lie, feelings can be distractions, and feelings can be projected onto us. That's why we talk about bippity boppy, love spells, etc., right? That you feel that you want so bad, maybe you even feel like you lay your life down for them, and your spiritual guidance team is saying, ain't no way. Once you realize that, you got to realize simultaneously just the same that there is a love connection for you. Like, make it make sense, you guys. Be more hope filled and be stubborn about being hope filled, okay? Because it takes the same amount of energy just to be pessimistic. No, it ain't. Well, that's the only person. Well, I can't see him. Well, let me find him. Well, where is he? You know? And be patient and learn the lessons. Be the observer, not the absorber of even your own path. I'm so serious about that. All right. So we're going to close out pile number 3. If I have not yet done so, this is the final call for the bell, you guys. All right. And for those that don't know what to do, please check for the live stream rules either in this description, or excuse me, in the description box or in this chat. Okay. If you have yet to ask for your free yes/no tarot message. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Missed 2. All right. Bottom of the deck. Ooh, Minnesota. Of course, that makes me think of Prince. You guys know I love him. He's on my shirt last night. Who was not El DeBarge. Let me stop. Fiona. All right, so we've got South Dakota, Arizona, New York, Illinois, Michigan, Kentucky, Indiana, Louisiana, Texas, West Virginia, Tennessee. That makes me think of that song. Oh, who sings that? Because it was like, Tennessee, 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 Lord, I really been real down and out, losing. I forget who sings that. That was such, oh, I think that's called Everyday People. Anyways, last but certainly not least, Georgia. All right, let me get out of that because I can't think of the group. Let me see. That was such a good song though. Wait. Oh my gosh, you guys, Chain of Fools. Oh my god, I forgot because the screen went blank. This is connecting back to pile number 2 really quick, you guys. Okay, pile number 2, because of this Chain of Fools lyrics from that I'm looking at from the song sung by Aretha Franklin, and it's 1968. I'm not super familiar with it. I mean, I've heard it because I love music. But there could be some significance to 5 years, okay, in separation. There could be some significance to a father's non-approval of the connection. There could be some significance to this person kind of treating you you know, cruelly cold. And it could have been on the strength of whatever else was going on between this person and whoever else was around them, whether it was a father, family member, friends, society. Okay, could be some significance to somebody being a doctor. Doesn't have to be the case. And again, this is for pile number 2. I apologize. I meant to. I got a lot going on with the channeling, the cards, and trying to keep up with the time and doing the free tarot. So I did miss that because my screen blacked out, and so I no longer could see that I had those lyrics queued up for pile number 2. But that is the song that came through the channeling right before we did pile number 2, and it definitely connects to that. So you may want to take a look at the lyrics, or at least take a listen to the song. Again, it's called Chain of Fools, and sung by Aretha Franklin, who may be an icon of some significance. Okay. Okay, let me see here about Carter. Okay, let me see here. Why are they coming out so clumpy? Hold on, I don't like that. Let me shuffle. Let me shuffle here, Spoonie. Oh, I don't like that. That is so weird. I might want to cleanse. Sometimes when you stir up family members, they get to talking, and there could be some energy about you that you might want to cleanse, so you don't have to deal with it, if that makes sense. So whether that's sage, Palo Santo, incense, prayer, and meditation. All right. So I get no. Okay, and it's specifically this card, Spoonie. All right, bottom of the deck is the Four of Cups, which talks about like missed opportunities, disillusionment, um, rejection. So that's what I got, Spoonie. I don't know. I think you're just being asked to somehow find a way to get into an area of forgiveness so that you can free yourself, not for these other people, if that makes sense. All right, babe. Well, like Priya. Okay, let me see here about Amo. Okay, let me see here. Oh. Ooh. We've got contact, maybe even an offer, a proposal of some sorts, and Spirit saying, please don't be doing this at night or even during the daytime when you're worrying, okay? If you have to have boundaries with this person, right, if it makes sense to say that, you're being asked to uphold them. Like if you've had to tell them, like, I don't like this, or I really expect these things out of you, because I'm getting that you were supposed, like, you're on the right side of karma for doing that, and this person will ultimately, you know, get it right, if that makes sense, with the wish fulfillment card and them giving you their cup. Okay, whether this is simply just partnership or whether this is love, it's got a great outcome to it, aside from the, I believe, call that you're asking for. Okay, yeah, okay, that's what I have for you, Priya. It's love and light. All right, you guys, it has been real. Oh my gosh, did I say Hawaii for pile number 3? Sorry, if I didn't, there it is. I think we got through that, and I really appreciate those that sat through that. If you're still here with me from the beginning, you're freaking amazing. You're a rock star. I love that. If you checked in, supported the channel by liking, following along the rules, making sure you're subscribed here, and sharing the channel with a friend, okay, it really helps others and ultimately helps you on the back end as you do that. Okay, it's a win-win. We're all in this together, and thank you for making it an amazing journey. I love you guys so much. Have a phenomenal night. Love and light.